Let's unravel one of history's greatest mysteries. Who really built the Great Pyramid of Giza? For centuries, we pictured armies of slaves toiling under the whip, building a tomb for a powerful pharaoh. But new discoveries are rewriting that story. Archaeologists have found personal marks, diaries, and even the tombs of the builders themselves. The evidence reveals a workforce of skilled, organized Egyptians, fed, housed, and honored for their work. These were proud professionals, not faceless slaves. Today we'll explore the graffiti they left, the city they lived in, and the diary of the man who managed it all. Get ready to meet the true architects of the Great Pyramid. Before we meet the builders, let's grasp the scale of their achievement. The Great Pyramid was the tallest structure on Earth for nearly 4 millennia, standing 481 feet tall, built from 2.3 million stone blocks. Some blocks weighed up to 80 tons and were transported from hundreds of miles away. Its base covers over 13 acres and its sides align almost perfectly with the cardinal points. Originally, it gleamed with polished white limestone, shining like a jewel in the desert. The pyramid was a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, designed to guide his soul to the afterlife. But the real mystery: how did an ancient civilization, without modern tools, build something so massive and precise? For years the answer was slave labor. But the evidence tells a different story. Let's dig deeper. The real breakthrough in our understanding of the pyramid builders came from the windswept sands just south of the Great Pyramid. For centuries, the world imagined the pyramids rising from the sweat and suffering of nameless slaves. But the truth was buried, waiting to be revealed beneath the desert's surface. In the 1990s, a team of archaeologists made a stunning discovery: the remains of a lost city, purpose-built for the workers who constructed these ancient wonders. This was not a temporary camp, but a permanent, thriving settlement that supported thousands of people over decades. Far from being a grim slave encampment, this city was alive with activity. Archaeologists uncovered the ruins of massive bakeries, bustling fish processing plants, communal dining halls, workshops, and long rows of barracks. There were administrative buildings, storerooms, and even evidence of organized labor teams, each with their own quarters and supervisors. Just beyond the settlement, they found a cemetery, rows of tombs belonging to the very builders who raised the pyramids. These were not the graves of slaves, but of honored workers. The tombs, though modest compared to those of pharaohs, were carefully constructed and filled with pottery, tools, and food offerings for the afterlife. Each grave told a story of respect and remembrance. Forensic analysis of the skeletons revealed that these workers were native Egyptians, not foreign captives. Their bones showed the marks of hard physical labor, but also something remarkable: signs of medical care. Some skeletons bore evidence of healed injuries and even successful surgeries such as amputations and bone setting. This level of care and attention was unheard of for slaves in the ancient world. The support, nourishment, and medical treatment these workers received show they were valued members of society, not expendable laborers. Slaves would never have been given such dignity or resources. The tools and artifacts found, chisels, hammers, and personal items, point to a workforce of skilled craftsmen, engineers, and laborers, all working together in a highly organized system. The city and its tombs finally give voice to the people who built the pyramids, revealing their daily lives, their struggles, and their achievements. Their legacy is written not just in stone, but in the very fabric of this hidden city. Here, the myth of the slave army crumbles, replaced by the real story of skilled, respected workers whose hands shaped one of humanity's greatest monuments. Deep inside the pyramid, archaeologists found ancient graffiti, red ochre marks left by the builders. These weren't random scribbles, they were team names like the Friends of Khufu Gang and the Drunkards of Menkaure. The names show pride, camaraderie, and even humor, more like sports teams than oppressed laborers. The graffiti, written in everyday Egyptian script, reveals a literate, organized workforce. These marks help track crews and deliveries, but they also left a personal record. The builders' own words tell us they were not slaves, but proud Egyptians working for their king. Their inscriptions are a direct link to the people behind the stones. This is their story, in their own handwriting. The pyramid's walls speak for its makers. Let's confront the slave myth head-on. The story began with Herodotus writing 2,000 years after the pyramid was built, and was later cemented by Hollywood. but archaeological evidence shows the pyramids predate the biblical Exodus by centuries. There's no evidence, no texts, no remains of a massive slave workforce at Giza. Instead, the builders were skilled Egyptians, permanent artisans and temporary laborers, often farmers working during the Nile flood. This was a civic duty, a form of taxation, and workers were fed, housed, and cared for. Building the pyramid required skill, motivation, and pride, not forced labor. The workforce was respected, contributing to a project that united the nation. Their work was a source of pride, not oppression. The myth of slave labor doesn't hold up. What was daily life like for the builders? When we imagine the construction of the pyramids, we often picture thousands of workers toiling under the hot Egyptian sun. But what did these people actually eat? And how did their diet support such a monumental task? Let's start with their diet. Food was not just fuel, it was a reward, a motivator, and a symbol of the workers' importance. The pyramid builders' meals were surprisingly rich and varied, reflecting the value placed on their labor. Archaeologists found huge quantities of animal bones, beef, mutton, goat, and fish, showing workers ate well, even enjoying foods usually reserved for the elite. These protein-rich foods were essential for the physically demanding work, and their presence in such abundance suggests the workers were highly valued. Bakeries produced thousands of loaves of bread daily, and beer was a staple, thick, nutritious, and essential for energy. Bread and beer formed the foundation of their diet, but these weren't the only things on the menu. Workers also received onions, garlic, and pulses, which provided vitamins and flavor, helping to keep them healthy and satisfied. The settlement was organized: barracks for rotating crews, houses for skilled artisans and administrators. This organization ensured that everyone, from laborers to craftsmen, had access to regular meals and a place to rest. This city supported up to 20,000 people at its peak. Feeding such a large population required careful planning and logistics, with food supplies arriving from across Egypt. The well-fed, well-housed, and medically treated workforce is proof against the slave theory. Evidence of medical care, such as healed bones and surgical tools, shows that workers' health was a priority. Slaves would have received only the bare minimum. These workers were invested in. Meals were communal, fostering a sense of unity and pride among the builders. The pharaoh knew a healthy, motivated team was key to success. By providing good food and living conditions, he ensured loyalty and productivity. They weren't just building a tomb, they were building a nation. The infrastructure created for the workers laid the foundation for future Egyptian society. Their daily life was structured for efficiency and well-being. From sunrise to sunset, every aspect of their routine, from meals to rest, was designed to keep the workforce strong, healthy, and motivated, ensuring the pyramids would stand the test of time. So, how did the ancient Egyptians actually move those massive stones, some weighing several tons each, across the desert and up to the dizzying heights of the pyramids? This question has fascinated historians, engineers, and curious minds for centuries. Recent discoveries and ongoing research reveal a fascinating blend of clever engineering, resourceful logistics, and sheer human determination. The Egyptians didn't just rely on brute strength, they used innovative techniques and meticulous planning to make the impossible possible. At the ancient quarry of Hatnub, archaeologists uncovered a unique ramp system. This steep ramp, flanked by staircases and lined with post holes, was designed to work with ropes and wooden posts. Workers would attach ropes to sledges carrying stone blocks, then use the posts as anchors, allowing teams to haul the stones up steep inclines far more efficiently than previously thought. The use of simple pulleys and counterweights further amplified their efforts. By combining these tools, the Egyptians could lift and maneuver heavy blocks with surprising speed and precision, reducing the manpower needed and minimizing the risk of accidents. But moving the stones from distant quarries was another monumental challenge. Limestone for the pyramid's core came from Tura, while the harder granite for the inner chambers was sourced from Aswan, hundreds of kilometers away. Ingeniously, the Egyptians built a network of canals and used sturdy wooden barges to float these massive stones down the Nile, harnessing the river as a natural highway. The Egyptians were master boat builders, crafting vessels strong enough to carry multi-ton blocks. These boats, guided by skilled crews, delivered materials right to the construction site, demonstrating their advanced understanding of both engineering and navigation. This vast logistical network didn't just connect quarries to the pyramid, It linked the entire country in a coordinated effort, mobilizing resources and labor from across Egypt to serve a single monumental vision. The combination of ramps, canals, and highly organized labor showcases the Egyptians' brilliance as engineers and project managers. Every step, from quarry to construction, was carefully orchestrated for maximum efficiency. Using simple copper tools, wooden sledges, and above all, teamwork and ingenuity, they achieved what many thought impossible. Thousands of workers, each with a specific role, worked in harmony to bring the pharaoh's vision to life. No aliens required, just extraordinary human innovation, determination, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. The most remarkable discovery? The diary of Merer, an inspector during the pyramid's construction, found at Wadi al-Jarf. This papyrus is the oldest ever discovered. Merer managed a crew transporting limestone from Tura to Giza, recording their journeys and deliveries. He details the use of boats and canals, and names the pyramid as the Horizon of Khufu. Merer's diary confirms the organization, logistics, and hierarchy behind the project. He reports to Unkaf, Khufu's half-brother and vizier, showing a clear chain of command. This is a first-hand account of the pyramid's construction. No myth, just meticulous planning. Merer was a respected official, not a slave, and his logbook is a priceless window into the past. His words connect us directly to the builder's world. The verdict is clear: the Great Pyramid was built by skilled, honored Egyptians, not slaves. Discoveries like the Workers' City, their tombs, team graffiti, and Merer's diary have rewritten history. The pyramid is now a testament to national pride, ingenuity, and unity. It reflects a society capable of organizing on a massive scale for a common goal. The builders had names, teams, and lives. They were respected and cared for. Their story transforms the pyramid from a symbol of oppression to one of achievement. Yet mysteries remain. Scientists still search for hidden chambers and lost papyri. The Great Pyramid continues to inspire and reveal new truths. We now honor the real architects of eternity. The expedition into Egypt's past is far from over.